Who is better at communication, men or women?
Women.
Women are better at communication.
Women, for sure.
If men are worse at communication, why do so many women expect men to read their body language rather than just be direct?
Oh my God. I don't know.
Are men expected to be mind readers?
Yes.
Is there a difference between what women say that they want in a relationship and what they actually respond to?
Absolutely.
If so, how are women better at communication?
We're not.
But you just said that they were.
I lied. Clearly, I'm not communicating well. Duh.
Who is better at communication?
Let's go.
Right.
What's the question?
So the question is, like he asked,
Let's go!
what do you think men are better communicators, or do you think women are better communicators?
I think it depends on what you're trying to communicate and the message that you're trying to communicate. Women are more emotionally inclined, so we tend to shut out any emotional communication, but that's their majority. That's how they're going to communicate. So when they come off and they tell us how they feel and stuff, we be like, because what is that going to do for us? But if you were able to listen, which is part of communication, if we were better listeners, then we would be able to pick up on that. And with us being able to communicate as well, because I've definitely been through this, still going through this, still learning it. With us being able to communicate, when we get better at communication, we can ask better questions instead of leaving it to that. And what I love about the fellas is we can stand firm in whatever it is, so when women become distraught or anything, when they expect us to be mind readers, let me step back.
Right.
When they start to expect us to be mind readers, nobody has that ability. So I think that's a disconnect. That's a miscommunication. That's a communication error right there. Just because you know a person doesn't mean you know how they think, what they think at all times, So I love it. I love this. I love this topic. Let's dive deep into it.
Exactly. I don't think it ever should come down to who's a better communicator. I think it just goes down as we just communicating differently.
There we go.
I think we know that. I think the problem comes down to when you may hear like people's relationships. They'll be like, he from the main thing from a woman. Of course, men complain too, but the main thing you hear from a woman is like, he don't communicate with me. He don't know how to communicate. It's like I'll be listening. And at first, I'll be like, yeah, maybe he don't communicate with you right. And then as I'm getting older, it's like it's not that he don't communicate with you. It's just that maybe he don't communicate with you the way you want, or it's just he communicates differently because he's just a man. You trying to get him to communicate as a woman, but he only know how to communicate as a man. So he's not being mean. He's not being quiet, or he's not being affectionate or anything like that. Communication is just that he just being a man, and maybe at one point he needs to learn how to communicate better with you. And then the other part is you need to learn how to receive a different type of communication. So it's always, I think it's a mixture of both when it comes to the side. So I don't think that we should ever be like who communicates better, because you're not going to win that battle, and there's no such thing as who will win better.
Yeah. I think like Trey said, we kind of shy away from their emotions and stuff, because really, they'll dump all these emotions and feelings on us, and logically it don't make no sense to us. So we're like, you just talking gibberish right now. So I'm just gonna go and get some peace somewhere, because you ain't giving me peace right now. But at the same time,
there.
Yeah, at the same time, like I think women could be more effective with that communication, like emotions and feelings. Like you can control that shit. Like you can control that shit. So why don't you sit down and have a conversation, not just blurt a bunch of stuff at a man at once and expect him to like be able to respond. Like, cause I'm guilty. I shut down from it. I mean, as I get older, I'm better at like, yo, let's break this down. You just told me X, Y, and Z, when really A is the only thing that matters right now. Like, as far as what you said. So, you know, let's concentrate on A, X, Y, Z.
Right.
You
What's
know,
the focus?
that's personal. You know, that's just my 2 cents. And we could be better communicators. We don't always, you know, express ourselves, but I don't know. I think it's a defense mechanism sometimes because we want to our women, we want to be seen as that, you know, strong, you know, entity that can, you know, keep them secure, and we just secure within ourselves naturally. You know?
But I don't always. But honestly, I don't think it's that. I mean, I don't say that we wrong in a sense because it would be a guy that'll be like, bruh, she let's say on the other end, she'll be acting all erratic and acting all crazy and don't know how to act. We can't go and be like, oh, she don't know how to communicate. Like we can't flip it on either side and say that she's too emotional either. It's like on both. I mean, it's so up and down. It may come down to the
I love it. I
I
love it.
would
Hold
say
on,
you're
before
being
you
a
say
little
something, Keith.
emotional right now.
Hold on.
I would say it.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Paul, do I need to play the video? Did you hear the video?
No,
I want to play it for
I was
him.
listening. I was listening.
Okay.
I
You
caught
heard
it.
it? Okay.
So
Okay,
yeah.
before we go before we go too hard, so shut up.
I was sneezing, bro. I was sneezing.
Hey.
What you?
I don't
What you
understand
mean?
this Paul shit. So with the a lot of the times when people start to get into breakups and divorces, when people start to separate, it's because of a miscommunication. And how long have you been in this realm of miscommunication? You know, so then at the end, it comes out, to simplify it, he just don't love me no more. She just crazy. You know, that's just what they communicating. But it was actually a process. That's why I be like, when it comes to a separation, it's not like, oh, it's not the love is lost. Y'all actually probably could work things out if y'all was able to find some common ground, communicate effectively, and then work from there. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. Most mishaps stem from miscommunication.
I want to say something. When it comes to this miscommunication, the part I think sometimes we forget about the communication is actively listening. And I think sometimes people just hear what they want to hear instead of what you're trying to say.
Yes.
And so now when I have interactions with people, I might say something, and if they're saying something different from what I was saying, I'm like, hold up, nope, that's not what I was saying.
Right.
Don't try to twist my words. No, this is what I'm saying. Let's address this part. Sometimes you gotta also learn how to
Guide
the conversation. Exactly, reel it in. Yeah.
I love that.
Or they listen, or they listen to respond instead of listening to digest and then respond.
And that's much harder to do when you're in the heat of the moment. That's much harder to do when you're like in a predicament where you're upset. It's a loved one, you feel disrespected or something of the sort. It takes mental gymnastics to be able to actually have a successful conversation within that moment. You know what I'm saying? And even with acknowledging that you might not be able to have this conversation right now. Most of us guys, we don't just go to, hey, look, we can have this conversation later or whatever. It usually becomes the back and forth, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, you be like, fuck it all together, you know, like fuck it, fuck her, fuck this, I'm out, you know.
Damn.
And I think that's where you say, Trey, that the man shut down. If we gotta go through all the mental gymnastics, then like you said, it's probably not the best time. Sometimes they have a hard time understanding that. It's like, oh, you just ignoring me, you just waving me off. But yeah, like I think women can understand, can do better at understanding. Like, yo,
what's good, everybody? It's the FMF mob right here.
Yes,
we got
sir.
the finance, we got the mindset, we got the fitness, and we want to shout out the lab This space is owned by James, and this guy, man, he opened up this spot to us. It's an amazing place, man. It got exposed brick. You can kind of look in there and see a little bit. Got the DJ equipment, everything you need to get your photograph needs, podcast, anything you can think of, man.
Big parties in the zone too.
Oh yeah, they do the
Vendor
parties too.
spot,
Yeah.
recreational type spot. It's a great location right here in Richmond, in the Churchill area, for you to be able to come together, put your parties, assemble all that type of good stuff together, and just come and check it out. Plus, it's black owned.
Absolutely.
It's black owned. So support your people. We definitely, FMF, support the lab. We love the lab.
Yes.
All right. Y'all take care.
Time and place. You know, if you just felt respected, we out with friends or at brunch or something, you felt like I was looking at this girl ass or whatever, you want to chew me out in front of everybody, like, nah, that's not gonna go good for anybody. But then if you want to wait till we get in the car, ride home, I can put on some smooth jazz or something, and then we can, you know, talk it out real, you know, like adults. Then I can, you know, I can tell you like what I was looking at the bacon, you know, and not the girl ass or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
I think that's a big point, man. I think that's a real big point. Keith touched on is about like that time and place. Like not every conversation got to be had right there at that moment. You know what I'm saying? Not every conversation. Sometimes you got to get them. You got to calm down a little bit. You know, you got to, you know, think about some stuff and then come back and revisit the conversation. Because the question is, do you just want to win the conversation or do you want to grow and evolve from it? You know, if we talk about like an intimate relationship, do you want to come closer or do you just want to be right? You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, like back in the day, I ain't gonna front, like I wanted to be right. You know what I'm saying? Like I just wanted to prove, like, yo, you're wrong, you don't want to be wrong. But now I'm to the point now where it's just like, yo, like it's not about right or wrong. It's about like, yo, like where you coming from? This is where I'm coming from. Let's get some understanding. Let's move forward and get past this. Because if somebody right, somebody gotta be wrong, and don't nobody really like be wrong at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
And on top of that, bro, what I had to learn is everybody do process their own way. Everybody got their own reactionary. Everybody got their own things that they're working on. All of that, cool. You're not going to be perfect. So, say for instance, because I've been through this. Say for instance, you are in a good relationship, right? You know it's good. Y'all been working it out, and you've compromised, right? And they see that you compromise, and it's vice versa. This for both partners. And they see that you compromised. Well, now they want something else that you can do better. It's something else you can do better. They want you to keep on compromising. But you cannot change your whole being for what this person thinks you should be, right? So you got to have some grounding about yourself. But what I also learned on top of that is a lot of times, like everything doesn't have to be discussed. Like, is this an actual problem? You know? And if this is a problem, is this a big enough problem to where we need to have a discussion about it? Or is this something that you've gotten upset about, but you could go ahead and push that off to the side? Because in the long road, like this ain't something that's consistently happening. This ain't something that is that big of an issue that even if it was consistently happening, it could actually affect anything. You know, it's a lot of factors that go into it. So a lot of times, really, all I do is ask the question, like if I see somebody get upset with me, did I do something to upset them? I ask myself, did I do something to upset them? Because if so, and if I was in the wrong, then I should take accountability. If no, and you're upset, that's your problem. You know what I mean? If something I did or said upset you, that wasn't like, I wasn't trying to, you know, personally upset you, then that's more so your problem. And it's on that person to address it. A lot of times within this communication realm, we become people pleasers. So if I see that you're upset, what's wrong, bro? Let me come solve your problem. I don't want no problems. Now you're treading on that nice guy. You know what I mean? And that's something that we're not gonna do too. So I gauge it. Like, did I do something wrong? I'm not gonna. I can't sit in confusion. So I'm not gonna sit back and ponder and think about what it is that I possibly did. If I see that you're obviously upset, going back to intimate relationships, if I see that you're obviously upset, and I don't know at what. It could be a number of things. You could just have a bad day. You could have let something small, an annoyance, piss you off, and you declare the whole day bad. That's your own problems. You're not going to take it out on me, and you're not going to blame me. So what I'll do is ask, is it me? Did I do something? Did I do something? Yes, no. And from that, it's like, if you want to talk to me, you can. Until then, you go ahead, go in the back room and close the door. You handle your own thing. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you, hey, look, I'm gonna tell you another thing I learned about communication. Sometimes you just gotta let the shit go.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, hey, you feel how, hey, you blaming me? You blaming me? Okay, that's cool. Hey, have a good one. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, hey, what go back? Because sometimes I think we waste a lot of breath trying to convince somebody else or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's your thoughts, that's your opinions. Hey, that's great. All right, cool. And just keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, man, you just gotta learn to, like, that's one thing I learned, man. I used to try to defend myself all the time in a communication and stuff like that. Oh, I'm not like this, I'm not like that, or why'd you do this or why'd you do that? Now I just be like, okay, hey, it is what it is. And just keep moving, you know what I'm saying? Like, just let it go.
On the next episode of Keeping It Clear.
I think that's more the.
Yo, keep stop, bro.
My bad.
I'm trying to chill.
I think that's more the beginning phases of an intimate relationship.
Hey, look, hey, I will do, man. I'm telling you, I will have I can have a conversation with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to sit down and have a conversation, but if you want to start blaming me for some stuff, then hey, okay, all right, that's what it is.
If I'm that big of a problem for you, let me solve this. I'm out. Yeah.
Hey, look, man, that's what it is for me. So that's something. I guess it's a catch-22 because now, like, it's easy for me to walk away. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't. So you got to learn how to you got to put the work in, put the effort and everything in.
Very true.
And stuff like that.
True.
But because you don't want to be to the point where it just be like, oh, that's what it is. All right, peace, I'm out. Right. And you ain't never really building and fostering something. So it's like that. It's like that.
I'm out. Hey, man.
Hey, I know. Hey, the funny thing, me and G is so much alike, even though we got different tendencies or whatever. But like,
my belief is, man, we got free 400 years ago. So if I'm not gonna sit here and willingly be annoyed, like willingly to be talked upon, like talk bad about, willingly to be abused. I'm not doing that. It's not happening. Especially even if it come like in person or like on my phone. I didn't pay my monthly fee every month to get stressed out. No, I'm gonna hang up on it. Why would I mess up my life because I want to be abused? It ain't happening. We have free will, don't we? We got free will.
Hey, hold up, because I gotta ask now. Yo, was you always like that? Was you more like the clingier type earlier in your like your teenage years and early 20s and stuff like that?
Oh yeah,
or were you kind of always like that?
I used to be a simp.
Beta.
See, and that's what it is. See, that's what it is. Because I was like that too, yo.
I had to wake up. I think mostly, honestly, most dudes, I would give like 98-99% of most dudes that are hard now. They were simps at first until something happened.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. I guarantee you, if you talk to most dudes, they hard now. They got like 4 or 5 girlfriends. And they do whatever they do. They being dogs. I guarantee you, ask them, bro, what happened? Hey, bro, this joint messed me up. Bro.
Is that one?
Yeah. I guarantee it. Yeah, so that's just how it is. I was saying I'm not hard like that, but I know I wouldn't call it I'm cold hearted, but I'm aware
Savage.
now. I gotta say I'm
Yeah,
aware.
more aware. Yes.
I'm more aware, but I ain't savage though. I'm aware. I see stuff now.
I'm
Man, we love
savage.
ourselves
I had to
more
work
now,
on it.
man.
And you love yourself more. I was about to say that.
Yeah,
So
we
get the
love
work on that.
ourselves more, man. I realized, man, back in my earlier years and some of the stuff that like I was putting up with and stuff like that, I like, Paul, what was you thinking? Like,
Right.
Fuck
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
like, yo, why'd you let this woman talk to you and treat you like this? Like,
Right.
and you kept coming back. Like,
Had to learn, bro.
Yeah.
Had to learn, bro.
Facts.
Hey, we all been there.
it was
Had to
bugging,
learn.
but hey, I give myself grace because, like you said, we all gotta learn, man. I ain't ashamed of it or nothing like
Not at
that, but
all.
I definitely, man, and that go back to the communication because I used to be the type. Why would you do this to me? Like, why are you da 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 da? Now, what you mean why? Like, cause she can, and if you keep allowing them to, they gonna keep doing it. Why would they stop?
Yo, that was a perfect response. Let me say it again. Hold on. Hold on. That was a perfect response.
You got that.
Yeah, they gonna keep doing it.
You gonna hit the horn.
That's just but that's how people are designed, man. Like if you keep letting them walk, cause I used to be like, yo, like why New York people so hard and stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like why they so hard? And they was like, and every single New York person, man or woman I talk to, they be like, yo, bro, if you don't stand up for yourself up there, yo, you getting fed to the wolves, yo. Like it's different, and you see how like. Man, look, man, how they grew up is tough. And you know, you got kids taking the trains and stuff on their own, 8, 9 years old, because you gotta. That's how you gotta get around. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be. It's funny how like how you grew up and your experiences mold you, and you can share a lot. That's why I knew G was the same way. Like when he was younger, because I was like, hold on, man, we too much similar when it come to this. He had to go through a similar experience as me, and then sure enough, it is, man, because it's just natural human instincts. We want to self-preserve ourselves, where we don't want to keep getting hurt over and over again. So we not gonna do this. We not gonna keep doing this. But the thing is, though, we can't swing all the way to the other side of the pendulum, where we just be like, yo, F all of them. They all the same way because that's not the truth. You know what I'm saying? We also got to realize when our traumas is taking effect and guiding how our actions and our emotions based on, like Keith was talking about, like, the logical thing. So, it's just that balance and that come along with it.
What we learn and establish is boundaries. You know, we establish boundaries. So when it comes to communication, that question, for one, that's clickbait. Men or women that are communicating. I think it depends on the person and the situation that needs to be communicated, because communication is verbal and nonverbal. I think we do a great job at nonverbal communication as humans alone. You don't really see a woman telling a guy, yo, come talk to me. It happens, but most of the time it's a nonverbal communication. Or, is there any type of interest anywhere is a nonverbal communication. So we are more catered to nonverbal communicating. Verbal communication is where we're all as humans is lacking, because in our mind, if we see it, why don't everybody see it, right? If we think this, if it's logical to us, then how does it not resonate with you? I'm not understanding. How do you do that? How do you not see where you was wrong, in this situation, when the other person is like, I don't even acknowledge that there was anything wrong at all. So the communication, bro, it usually is a miscommunication. As far as better, it depends on the person in the situation, if you ask me, because for me, and being it's that my purpose, literally, you can't have community without communication. it's more difficult for me to cut off a conversation. For my wife, you probably won't. 9 times out of 10, you ain't getting too much of a conversation out of her. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when it comes to communication, it's like, and then like everybody got their thing. So again, I've been through where like I'm confrontational. I don't like guilt. I don't like confusion. And if you non-verbally communicating that you have a problem with me, now I'm thinking about what the possible problem, what did I do? And I'm now feeling guilty for something I don't know of, and I'm confused as to what the hell is happening. So all of that triggers me to be like, yo, say something. What is it? You know, and I had to work on that for me, because again, that's why I said, if somebody else has a problem with me, that's somebody else's problem until they address it with me. That goes for like haters too and stuff like that. That's why I said haters actually showing confused love, because you love me so much that you think about me. You talking about me. You got my name in your mouth. You got me spreading around. You know what I'm saying? So it's actually a love thing in my mind versus you hating on me. You know what I mean? Thank you for thinking about me. And I don't take it personally. I can keep on moving. Maybe that's what we should have drilled in, is when it comes to communication, until it's personal, don't take it personal.
Thanks.
Got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that was a gem right there. Yeah.
Yo, did you have something you wanted to say real quick, Keith?
Oh no, I think y'all touched on everything. I said on peace. I've been trying to calm down for you, Paul. You know, because I be wanting to.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, you got chill, yo. Hey, Keith's our comedian. Man, y'all put down in the comment section, y'all want Keith to start up his own YouTube page and do some skits or something, yo. Like we gotta get Keith to do these skits or something, man. I'm telling you, they're just gonna be hilarious, yo.
No, I appreciate that.
Snap.
Yeah. Yo, you got anything you want to add, G, before we wrap everything up with this one?
I'm about to get up out of here. I'm ready to wrap it up, man. Yeah, they talked to us enough, man. We gave them a lot of value today, man. I want to say I appreciate everybody coming on to the live. We got a lot of things going on. Appreciate Keith, my dog Trey. We got Paul in the building, man. Listen, every week we're gonna start doing this, man. We want to hear from you guys, man. That's why I keep putting up. We want to really hear from you guys in the comments. Y'all want to jump on, make sure y'all ain't naked or sitting in your bed on your stomach with your feet in the air. We ain't talking to men like that. We ain't doing that at all. So make sure you come on. Make sure you dress appropriately, and you know you got something to say. You know,
you come on.
Yeah, we want to hear everybody, man. So you know what? Just let us know. Y'all know where to find us, man. All the details is in the about section on our channel, man. That's all I got to say.
Thanks.
Hey, man,
the story is be better at communicating. Learn more about communication.
I'm letting y'all know my camera about to die, so y'all go ahead.
Hey, yo, man, that's it, yo. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. That's it. FMF out, y'all. Peace.